Hi, I'm Susan Berg. Welcome to the new and improved Choose on Purpose, and in point of fact, the new and improving Berg Home. We're here at Choose on Purpose to talk about, to learn about, to share experiences about transitions, be they business, career, major traumas in life that call on us to really dig deep and find our resilient spot. It just so happens that we're going through a very concrete renovation here at the Berg House. And as we kick off our conversation together, I think it's great to use this as a metaphor, a way to look at what happens to all of us in transition. As you can see behind me, we're putting in new windows, so there's an external aspect of all transitions, which is sort of the end result, what we're hoping to get to as we go through a transition. But you'll also notice that it's kind of messy. Things are hanging off, things are uneven. We had to pull a ladder up and learn how to use it so we could get close to a place that we don't usually go to. And as we investigate transitions through this experience of renovation, I also wanted to share with you some of the effects of a transition process. And that's that there's stuff all over the place. Things get messy and chaotic, things get exposed, things get thrown out, things get shaved off. There's tools that we find ourselves learning how to use for the first time or refreshing ourselves in a major change process. And there's also one of the first key steps to managing transition, which is becoming aware that we're in a transition. Pretty obvious in a renovation like this, but not so much so when we're kind of in a stress and we find sort of an agitation inside and we're struggling to pinpoint where that is coming from. So becoming aware that we're in a transition and then actually accepting that all transitions, and we'll see as we enter into my home here, they're going to have spots, whether they be happy transitions or difficult transitions, that kind of put us in a tunnel as we go through the tunnel and are sort of suspended midair and beginning to figure out what else is possible. And transitions have the external obvious stuff that we've seen outside, but they've also got the internal things that go on for each of us as individuals. Much like gutting our cabinets, that's something that happens to us as we go through a change process. And what gets us through is really being able to be aware, to accept that we're in the change process. That would be step number 2. Also to have a vision of where we're headed. Even if stuff is thrown at us that we didn't expect, we can come into any transition beginning to identify what can be as we come out through the end of it. In our case, what can be is bringing nature and beauty into our kitchen and our dining area through these beautiful windows. What can be is also adding an element of fun and creativity through our Julia Child style pegboard of pots and pans. Yet what can be also entails dealing with the stuff. As we've gutted the cabinets, gutted aspects of our lives, there's going to be things laying around that we are going to find that we need to deal with. And so as we talk through some of the steps to dealing with transition, I've ended up with you here in the middle of my kitchen on my island. And we're here because this is my oasis. One of the ways that I deal with change is I create a calm spot in the middle of it, and I allow myself to be in it. I can accept it, I can be aware that it's happening, but create a calm spot to work. So what's your way of dealing with it? I'd like to hear more about it because we're here to exchange ideas, to share our knowledge and experience. So let's talk about how we create successful transitions.